Well, I guess we can get started. Hello, everyone. My name is Alan. I am one of the three hosts on this new podcast called Los Spookies. And we have been trying to get this going. We have been trying to get this train going for a minute now, and I love that we are finally at this stage in this process that we can actually talk about things that we really wanted to talk about for the longest time, which is our main purpose. But before we even get to all our main purpose of why we have this podcast, I want to introduce the rest of our host. Let's start with our host number 2, El Oso.
Hi, my name is Brian, aka El Oso. Um, hey everybody. So I think I should probably say what Los Spookies is to me, right? Which
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Go,
think
go ahead. I
You
love
can
it.
give like the actual description too,
Mhm.
of Los Spookies is a podcast.
Yes.
All things spooky in all forms of media, whether it be TV, movie, music. Yeah, that's right, music. Um, art, just anything spooky, anything creepy, anything that makes you go, ooh, that's a little spooky.
I love that. I love that.
Sorry.
No, I love our little catchphrase. That's a little spooky. But I do really feel that our podcast really is a whole culmination of everything spooky wise. But thank you for bringing that up, Brian, because now we can move over to our third host right here.
Hi, I'm Fuzzy. Um, and the main thing I wanted to say was there's a specific reason we're saying spooky and not horror because there are times where something that isn't explicitly labeled horror still kind of scares us, or something that like is kind of silly, like uh, creepy pastas and stuff. Like even the ones that are not very good but are so iconic, like Jeff the Killer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's all still within our wheelhouse of stuff we're gonna be covering.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's what brings us along with everything here. Now we can talk about the whole purpose of Los Spookies. So, first, why don't we start with the name? I think we have a big hand to give over here to El Oso for giving us the name. Why Los Spookies?
Well, I'll jump in on that one. The reason is because he actually kind of looks like El Los Bookies.
You mean Marco Antonio Solis?
Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
hair,
yeah.
El
dude.
Los
It's the hair.
Bookies.
El Los
In
Bookies.
Los Bookies, it's the hair, dude.
No. Brian, go ahead. Go ahead. Come on, also. Let me hear. What was the reason on why you decided that we should be going by
Los
this name?
Spookies?
Yeah.
To be honest, and I'm gonna be very honest, I didn't even make the Bookies connection. If we're being real, for me it was just a way to incorporate being, Mexican kid, growing up, loving all things spooky. So, Los Spookies is just kind of a name that popped into my head that was, it's not really Spanish, right? Other than the word los, but it's just my way of adding that little bit of Espanol, a little bit of that
A little homage, a
little
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 homage to our
homage to our
heritage.
culture and
Yeah.
heritage. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing too. We don't have a specific uh big influence right there of us being, Mexican, speaking Spanish and having that influence. But having Los Spookies in there is really something that we all connected to. I know Brian, you've been really, really adamant on showing our pride from our culture that we have, and I feel like this is a perfect way of giving back and adding a little bit more into the scene. Because if we can't add more, why even do it? Ain't that right?
I mean, yeah, that's true. Like, I think something about consuming all this kind of content makes us want to be a part of the conversation, and that's why we're doing this. I mentioned a while back,
Yeah.
Did you really?
one of my favorite podcasts is a soccer podcast, and when I'm like listening to it, like on my commute to work or something, I find myself pausing it like if someone like one of the hosts asks a question, I will pause it and I will speak like out loud my thoughts on the question. So um this is just kind of a way to do that with, not looking crazy talking to myself in my car. This is us contributing to the online conversation.
Yeah, and online discourse is one of the things that we are going to be looking at a lot, but not often. It is some more of the times it's going to be mostly us talking about all of the media that we have consumed that we find spooky, and those questions that Fuzzy was bringing up. Everybody in this room listens to podcasts and has had those moments where we want to be part of those conversations, and I feel like we have some ideas and some thoughts that a lot of you guys are going to relate with, especially when it comes to this topic of spookiness.
Yeah, and why don't we just get straight into it? Brian, you watched a scary movie recently?
Yeah, I know you wanted to touch upon this topic because of conversations prior.
I did, yes. I recently saw The Black Phone 2. I don't know if I know Alan's seen them, but I don't know if Fuzzy if you've seen the Black Phone movies.
I have not.
I definitely recommend. But I know Alan would disagree otherwise with the second one.
I mean, before we even get to it, I want to explain my thoughts on that because I'm like, it's a movie that you can, based on the trailer, you can see what happens. I don't think it comes with surprises, especially if you consumed a lot of this media.
No, but it was still a fun watch. And then I like so what I like is the camera work, I would say, or not the camera work, but the distinction of when the sister is dreaming, the camera quality shifts to like because it all takes place like in the 80s.
Yeah, yeah,
Spoilers,
yeah.
by the way.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
spoilers by the way. So it all takes place in the 80s, but when the sister is like sleepwalking, the camera quality shifts to like old grainy quality. And I kind of dig that because like when she's asleep and when she's awake. And I like that little like I would say it's kind of like a little hint to be like, oh, like yeah, this place takes place in the 80s, and like also the film quality is old.
I mean, besides the fact that they're using payphones, they're using landlines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that doesn't give you a hint that they're in the back
That's not what
back
I
in the old
meant. I
days.
just meant like I like that little detail.
I love it actually, because it reminds me of the Super 80, the camera. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's the kind of like the film that you would get from it.
Yeah, yeah.
So her dreaming state is film. So whatever your thought on film looks like, that's exactly it. That you will see her in her dreaming state, and then everything else looks like how the movie would would look like. But that is, uh, I mean, creative wise, the movie was great. Creativity wise, it was like great. I loved it, but I feel like the story is right there, bro. Like the story is there. The second one wasn't really that needed. And then I
Can
don't know.
can I say
Yeah.
I never watched the first one, but I was surprised when I started seeing like ads and stuff for a second one. Just because I was like I thought this was like a one off,
Yeah.
like just like a good story, and like there was gonna be no need for a second one. Actually, I thought if they were gonna do a second one, it was gonna go backwards. We were gonna see like a prequel almost. Like of the killer, kind of like what is it? He gets his whole thing going. His whole shtick, his whole gimmick,
Uh-huh,
like
uh-huh.
kind of perfecting his craft. Um, which kind of makes me sound like I see the killer as the protagonist, which I don't. I don't support killing and kidnapping kids. Um,
That's what he says.
but long-winded way of saying, yeah, I didn't think we were ever gonna get a Black Phone too.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, why? But it's not just the black phone thing. I think like there's so many movies that you're just like, why? Why are you giving me a sequel of this? Don't get me started with like the Terrifier movies. Don't even start with Art the Clown, which I know you have a thing with clowns also.
I mean I've never been a big fan of clowns. Still ain't. Yeah, I didn't like the Terrifier movies either. If that's a hot take. But I don't like super gory movies in general. Sorry for the.
real quick before we pivot talking points. Um, did you ever get scared watching The Black Phone 2? And this is a question mainly for Brian because I think we all know Alan's answers.
Yes, actually,
You did.
I did
Oh,
because
what
I was
part? What
watching it in
part?
a super dark room.
Uh-huh.
What parts scared me the most? And lately I've been doing this thing where like
And this
scary
is gonna
movies.
involve like spoilers too, right?
Yeah, this will
Yeah.
involve some spoilers, but usually, I mean, scary movies don't scare me, right? But lately, what I've been trying to do is kind of immerse myself in it and just be like, all right, just let yourself be scared. Like if you start feeling like just let yourself, like let loose a little bit,
Uh-huh.
like kind of try to put yourself in there.
Right.
And I think what got me
Uh-huh.
was seeing the when he starts hacking up the second boy, and he's floating from into the ice cap on the lake. You know how he
Yes.
floats up and they write a letter.
Yeah.
What I didn't notice was that his head was split. So when he starts
Oh.
flowing down, it just tears open,
Yeah.
and that kind of freaked me out a little bit because I just wasn't paying attention to that.
Oh, that's
And
an
so I was like,
interesting. I didn't think of that
but
part.
again,
Yeah.
because gore and stuff like that, I'm just not a big fan of. And where they burned the kid alive too, I was
Wait,
like, oh,
it wasn't like okay. Well, Fuzzy, you've seen JoJo's. You know how in part one they burn the dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what you get to see. Like it's not really like
yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of
okay.
dry. He throws him in the oven,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
You don't really like
chars
see
the
it like
boy.
yeah. So I'm like that's not a really gore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, but the other kid getting chopped up.
I mean, yeah. But what other parts was it just that? Did any of the like jump scares get you or
No, what another one was when she's sleepwalking.
mm, mm. I think I think sleepwalking is like a terrifying thing though. Like you have no control over your body for what happens. And in this movie actually they picked it a little bit more better because she gets burned. She starts flying
Oh yeah,
because of her dream, like quote
because of
unquote
the
flying.
dreams, which
Yeah.
made me think of I don't know if this actually happens. It made me think of Nightmare on Elm Street,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah,
right? Like
definitely.
when
Yeah.
they're being killed in the dreams.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
I actually that one's actually really cool because and the second one, Johnny Depp one, he well not Johnny Depp himself, but like there's a character in that one with Johnny Depp
Mm-hmm.
that is getting he's getting tormented, he's getting puppeteered by Cougar, and he's just basically by his veins throwing him
Oh
off of the
yeah.
hill. And I
Oof.
think that that's the craziest way because the way his positions is his arms and limbs are like that's how you would depict somebody like sleepwalking.
Mm-hmm.
So him killing himself sleepwalking is insane. But yeah, the Black Phone does it basically is a huge homage to that, like in my eyes.
Yeah, a lot of the sleepwalking scenes were really cool. I I went the first time it happens. I went, oh, like why did it just go all grainy? And I was like, oh, she's dreaming. And then when Finn comes and she's standing where she was standing in her sleepwalking state
Mhm,
in her dream,
mhm.
I was like, oh, so like she isn't just dreaming this, like she's straight up like walking outside of her house and like when she ends up at the she sleepwalks all the way to the killer's house into his basement
Mm-hmm.
and then she wakes up there because Finney, oh, I like that part actually, with the brother, and he has the axe in his head, and then you see the door like swing open, and you see some stuff coming down, and you think it's the grabber, and it turns out it's Finney trying to wake her up.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
that little fake out,
Some
of
of the fake outs were great. Yeah, I do say that, you know, I think this movie is definitely better seen as a like mystery than it is as a horror movie. I think it's more of the the one of your favorites, Fuzzy, Jake Gyllenhaal in The Nightcrawler.
Oh
I
yes,
think it's
Ooh.
Nightcrawler so
one
good.
of those. Like I think it's definitely more of that than
Mm-hmm.
it is really of a like a horror
Mm-hmm.
movie. It's just
Yeah.
got supernatural elements
Yeah,
to it.
I was gonna say it's basically a true crime movie with supernatural elements to it. Both of them, especially the first one, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. Although, yeah,
Because
I'm with Fuzzy on that one. Technically, I feel like it should have been like a prequel, just because the mom is the one that experiences it, and I would rather see like where did she get this like supernatural abilities
yeah,
to
yeah,
be like a seer, basically.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but in my opinion, Black Phone 2, it was a popular IP. That's why it got the second movie. Did it deserve the second movie? Maybe. It was entertaining. It had some detective work. It was definitely a better mystery than it was a horror. And I just don't like when people be like, "Oh my god, these horror movies are doing so well," when it's just like they're not horror movies. They're this type of movie more. They're like like a better horror movie that is more of a like detective style mystery. Sinister. The Sinister movie.
Mm,
Yeah,
also
that
with Ethan Hawke, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Also with
Yeah,
Ethan
also with
Hawke.
him.
Also Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I he did really good in that one, and I think the twist in that movie works super well. For those that have not seen Sinister, I don't want to spoil it for you because I know Sinister was one of those movies that actually did not get seen by a lot of people. It did not break any records or anything like that. Don't ever watch Sinister 2 though. It completely it like diverts from the original movie, and it's also because like the original directors and writers of Sinister, they left the project. But they
It's a
but
scary movie. It's a scary movie 4 thing.
Ethan Hawke is in like a lot of horror franchises, is he not?
Yeah,
Let me
I
think.
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The
I mean,
Purge, right?
The Purge.
Um,
he did great there.
Well, he's just a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it's his face. I
mhm.
think his face definitely gives you like, oh, he belongs in this genre. Like I cannot see him as a
He be
heartthrobber.
dying. He be dying a lot.
He be dying a lot.
Yeah.
He be scared a lot.
Honestly, if I was making horror movies too, or not making them, but like if I was part of a horror movie, I would love to die. I would love to be one of the kills in a horror movie. I I'm a big fan of them, except for like dumb kills.
Mhm.
If I die,
You wanted to like
Do
be
you?
like, okay, yeah, I can see why he would die. Like not just be like, that was dumb. How is he tripping on air?
yeah. There's a movie Hellfest. Hellfest. And one of the kills, the guy gets he gets like punched in the throat,
Right.
right? And obviously you're gonna be like winded from it. But this guy, I tell you, first of all, he's a horrible jock. But this guy, he's a jock. He doesn't have any asthma or anything like that. He gets punched in the throat. He cannot get back up from, and the killer's just basically walking, like watching him crawl on the floor,
Mhm.
heading all the way over to one of those the hammer games where you hit the
Oh, like with the big mallet.
yeah with
Oh,
the big
I've
mallet
seen
all
this
the
Yeah.
on
way up.
TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he basically like he's just basically following him. The guy, the jock, is the one who's walking his way all the way up, and then he sets his head on the on the thing, and I'm just like,
Mm.
oh, I wonder how he's gonna die. Grabs the
Yeah.
mallet all the
He
way through.
sets himself up. He's
Yeah,
like, oh, let me
Yeah.
make this easy for you. Let me just put my head on here real quick,
yeah,
and then let's see how hard you can hit this.
yeah,
That would have been so much better if like they gave, in my opinion, if they gave the killer like this twisted sense of humor and he grabbed the body and like placed his head there to do that.
yeah,
Like that would have been so much more better in my opinion.
Then
yeah.
him setting himself up.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
But if I was in a horror movie and I had to die like that, best
How are
believe
you trying to go
I
out?
got the bag. I got the bag.
How are you trying to go out? What is your ideal death in a horror
Is
movie?
it gonna
Like,
be
how are
like a
you?
tropey death?
Jason visits Manhattan. Jason visits Manhattan.
Oh, the guy who starts swinging at him, dude.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, if I go out in the movie, I want to go out like that guy who's just straight up like he's just going blow. He's swinging at him. He's hitting him with uppercuts, left, right. He's full on boxing him like he's a punching bag, and Jason's just standing there like, that it?
That's all. You got your licks in, right? You
You
got them
looked
all in.
in. That's it.
That's it. All right.
You
Check this
done?
out. all the way
clocks
through.
him just straight through.
Different weight class. Wasn't even fair.
It was not even fair. No, for
He's
real.
twice his size.
Twice his size, twice his weight, everything, and then just one shot.
Or like Busta Rhymes. Is it Busta Rhymes?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
it is. Yes, versus Michael Myers.
versus
Yes.
Michael Myers.
But Busta
Just
Rhymes did
straight
not
up.
die. He did not die.
I mean, he didn't die, but he was swinging.
Mhm.
That is how I'd want to go. At least swinging in a horror movie.
And if I don't get the chance to swing, I would rather it makes sense, like I got swarmed by like 50 zombies. I'm not making it out of there. Like something crazy like that. Like it makes sense. I'm not trying to die like, bro, just get up. Just get up. You put yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
Like Chris Hemsworth in The Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, when he just hits the wall.
Yeah.
What about you, Fuzzy? How are you trying to go out in a horror movie?
Wrong. I'm the killer.
Obviously, Brian. How would you not know that?
So it's Death by a Final Girl.
Yeah, probably. No, either that or I would want to do a super tropey death.
Mm.
Like just like all the bad decisions. I'm the guy who says I'll be right back. I'm suggesting we split up. If y'all are ever hiking with me at the first sign of trouble, I'm suggesting we split up.
They're tripping on tiny branches.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The girl from the first scary movie where she's like tripping, she ends up like basically naked, and she's like runs and goes straight like at the signs. Yeah, I'm that. Like that's what I want for me.
The safe or
Certain
death.
death is the thing,
He runs into certain death.
Or the Mr. Maybe like all the chances. Yeah, that's you. This is just your ploy though, right? Because like if you're gonna go hiking with Fuzzy and he says, oh my god, did you guys hear that? He's gonna start going to look for his like Wendigo wife out there. He's gonna be like,
hell yeah, bro.
Can I seduce it though? Can I
get to the yams? Yeah, I'm immediately like I'm suggesting we split up, but
Yo,
that's because I just
Jaws.
want like some alone time with whatever creature be out there, whatever creature of the night.
Yeah. While the real creature's after you, Fuzzy's like, "You're creature, you're creature. Where are you? Where are you?" uh, all just for the Wendigo puh. You know what I'm saying? Like
He's like, oh, I got a speedo on. I hope nobody accidentally takes my pants off. He starts unzipping his pants.
Oh yeah.
Like the guy in the haunted house, who's looking for Marlon, all naked. He's the psychic.
Oh, the medium,
Yeah,
medium, yeah. He's like asking a bunch
of
questions.
Malcolm. Yeah, he's like Malcolm. The night vision.
He goes up to there and starts asking him questions. Have you ever been with a man? No. Are you sure?
Or when he's leaving the door, don't fight it. Don't fight it.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm trying to go out swinging though, for sure.
The death, a hero's death. That's how you want to go.
Yeah, I want a hero's death.
Yeah, hero's death. I like. What was the movie called? Batista. Army of the Dead. That
the Las Vegas one.
The Las Vegas one. Yeah. There's a couple of characters there that go out like true heroes, and I absolutely hate that the one that survived was the daughter. Well, because they got in all of the trouble because of her. And she went to go rescue that one chick. Literally, they get to her, rescue her, and in the next like 2 minutes, they kill her off, and everybody else is dying from the crew left and right. And then the last survivor is literally the daughter. Like how? Like, movies like that are just insane. Like how do you even? I can't back a protagonist like that. I'd rather want the zombies to win. And like, have you seen it, Brian?
I started it, watched like 15 minutes, and then I turned it off. I watched something else. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I couldn't get the ball. Like I couldn't get the ball rolling on it. Like it just wasn't catching my attention.
The intro to that movie is insane though. Like it's absolutely insane. How did the zombie apocalypse start in Las Vegas? Oh, some guy was getting head in his car.
What? I
Yeah,
mean,
and took out the army base that was that's
the
carrying the
caravan that was
Egypt.
carrying
Yeah.
the disease.
Yeah. Well, Zeus used to be
I think it's good to spook it up every once in a while, you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my god, I love I never thought of this idea, but obviously this is not my original idea. But if I say this word right now, all of you guys will know where it's coming from. Summerween.
Summerween, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, Gravity Falls.
Yeah. Oh,
That's another thing that I love, and I think again why this podcast isn't about horror; it's about spooky. Is because you got stuff like Gravity Falls, you know, that is in its nature it's a spooky show, or meant to be a spooky show, you know, because I mean, it's not scary, but it deals with like these monsters and
I love the way they went about it.
ghosts
Yeah.
and cryptids and the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
mystery.
Their
It's
own
great.
like made up cryptids as well. Like I think it's so cool. The lore behind that entire show. I wish it got more seasons. I don't
Me too.
know
I
what's happening
love how much
there.
lore there is apart from just the episodes. Like how like there's like the
Yeah.
books,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
actual scripts.
Yes, 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 yes. I definitely think that we need to bring like, and that's why I brought up that word anyways, is because I love that episode where he stands talking about like the people in Gravity Falls. They love Halloween so much that they made it a holiday twice in a year. We should do that.
Yeah. I real quick. So I rewatch the entire Gravity Falls series at least once a year. Um,
Uh-huh.
but I always before I like get to the very beginning, I always start with the Summerween one because I love that episode so much because it actually used to scare me when I was younger.
Oh,
Like,
the
or at least at the very least, the first time I watched it, I was like, "Oh, this is a little spooky, scary," you know?
mm-hmm.
Because, like you said, it's like its own like cryptid. It's the what do they call them? The Summerween scare or something like that.
Summerween like candy blob. I don't know the exact name, but he's a made up creature from all the tossed
Or
Yeah, yeah.
discarded candy.
discarded
So,
candy that
I
nobody
mean,
so
wanted.
I
yeah,
can't even
Black
blame you,
licorice.
Fuzzy, because I mean, it
His
he looks
design, yeah.
his design is inherently like kind of creepy.
well, that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. Like it's their own OC, their own original character, but you can see the inspirations from like Slenderman, you know, there
Yeah.
and like the Rake, you know, when he's like crawling on all fours and stuff, which is also one of the reasons that um I love that episode so much is because like consuming more content like that, like for me, you know, a lot of my like experience with spooky stuff is like creepy pastas and stuff. So like every time I watch it, I like find something new to love about it. I'm like, oh, this actually reminds me of this, you know, like and now it
Yeah.
reminds me of this.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my god, that Summerween episode is insane. And I don't blame you. I do not blame you for one single thing. His design is insane. All black. And then like he's got teeth that are like super sharp, nails that are like really and the fact that he was like basically consuming them. I'm okay, okay. Well, in every episode, I guess they all don't get like unscathed, but like he basically consumed them entirely. And I think it was just crazy how it ends because he starts crying and Zeus is like he eats through his stomach and he just like and he just kills him that way.
The alien
Yeah,
reference.
yeah, an alien reference right there. I love that. I forgot the creator's name, but they reference so many of our
Yeah,
like
Alex
favorite things.
Hirsch, I think.
Yes, 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 yes.
Um, yeah, the alien reference was great, and then also just like the fact that you said like if Zeus had it like figured out it was candy and started eating his way out, we would have had two character deaths that episode, you know, maybe
Yeah.
more.
Oh, well, if you look at I don't know if you guys have kept up with the books or anything, but the most recent lore book that was dropped for Gravity Falls, at the very, very back, there, so there's a book for Gravity Falls.
Mhm.
And if you guys go to the very, very back of it, there is basically an alternate reality of Mabel and Dipper, but not
Oh
just one,
yeah,
but
yeah.
there's a bunch of them. And then it is hinted that at the end of the series, or not at the end of the series, but the the Mabel and Dipper that we followed through in our timeline is the only one that made it through every episode unscathed, because they were apparently supposed to die in each and every one of those episodes some way. And
Oh
yeah.
yes, 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 yes. And like, okay, I know what you're talking about. And it's because like together, it's them being together that like that's the whole reason. If they were to split up, or if they don't make up during their fights and they do split up, or like they end up dying, but it's them always finding that connection in each other and being like, hey, like you're my sister, you're my brother, like we got to do this together, we got to lock in. It's the fact that they always ended up working together that they survive.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely it was hinted at that it's because they were together. They were the only Mabel and Dipper that ended up making up, that didn't like hate each other at the end of it.
Hmm.
Because it is hinted that if they did at any point, the next episode or whatever, like the next creature they would,
Adventure,
yeah,
yeah.
adventure they'd fight, that's one of their deaths,
Hmm.
and they made all of the right choices throughout that timeline, which is why they're the ones that survived. I think that is so cool. Imagine making a show filled with so much lore like that, and still, to like 10 years later, I think it's been 10 years,
Hmm.
they they keep dropping more and like hinting more at it, like how Bill Cipher is still probably
Alive,
alive.
yeah.
Like, that's insane. Also, I think the crazy that was, for me, in the entire show, that was the scariest part, is Stan erasing his mind.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have a fear of losing all my memories and no longer like remembering anything that I did in my life, which is
Hmm.
why
Mm.
like I record so many things, which is why I try to like leave something behind,
Hmm.
so that in case that does happen ever, because you don't know, you never
Hmm.
know, because with like Alzheimer's and anything like that, like um that just happens out of nowhere. That by the time that you find out, it's already basically too late to even do anything about it. So I think that that was like really scary. It hit me really like hard. I was like crying when I saw that scene. I was like, "Dang, bro, don't do it! Don't do it! No, no." But that's that. Out of the entirety of the show, that part made me scared.
What one of the things that like upon every rewatch is like I do always feel like that disappointment of like, damn, this was like a Disney show, so it's never gonna get there,
Hmm, hmm.
and like which I guess speaks to how good the show is that I rewatch it and I still want it to get there and it never does. But like the main episode where I feel the most quote unquote disappointed, because I love every episode,
Hmm,
but it's the unseen eye with the Colts or whatever. Because I thought it was like so cool that this entire time there's like a cult in the town,
hmm.
and then by the end of the episode everything's like resolved and the cult no longer exists, and then it's just like never mentioned again. I'm like, oh, well, not never mentioned again, right?
Yeah,
That's the device they use to defeat them. But yeah, I'm always just like, oh, like I would have liked if this had gone somewhere.
yeah. I do love that they tied in. At least they made it feel like everything was tied in at the end of the series. Because yeah, it's a Disney thing, so that's not getting picked up ever again. Like,
Hmm.
and unfortunately, they cannot continue it unless they want to like buy it out. But like,
Hmm.
that's insane. Like
Hmm.
how much they would have to buy it out for.
Hey, all I'm saying is Phineas and Ferb made a comeback.
That's true. That's true. But Phineas and Ferb was a lot longer, and it's a lot. I feel easier to just like stop and pick up.
Yeah, especially because their ending, quote unquote, was like a time skip. So
Hmm.
all the way through there. So like they can add so much. They can
Hmm.
add so much in the in
Yeah,
between.
like their ending's already set. Like
Yeah.
they're good. They're good. They can just keep like adding stuff in, as long as like they remember to look at their notes for how they left everything at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And Gravity Falls ending was like it said, "See you next summer."
Mm. We're
See
still
you
waiting. We're
next.
still waiting to get there.
It's been 10 years. How many
Yeah.
more summers do you need? Please, please. Uh, that's not even my biggest upset with Disney and like Disney shows. You guys know My Babysitter's a Vampire.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yes.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh my god.
Goated.
The
Absolutely goated show.
that is my love. That is my Shayla right there. Oh my god. I hate how it ended the second season. And I know Disney bought it from Canada, so like technically that's how it like ended as a cliffhanger from like the Canadian side. But that would have been great for them to continue the third season. I don't know why they didn't pump in any money to like get the third season to go. Like I don't know any of the like the reasons why they would cancel that. Like to me that felt so uh, adult, like teenage
Mm-hmm.
adult, like teen adult type of style of like and Disney is not afraid of that. Like they had Wizards of Waverly Place that was like teen adult, like where you get actually like felt like you were growing with those guys. Like those guys were about your same age. Like they were older
Mm-hmm.
than you, but they were about your same age. And the same thing here, like with My Babysitter's a Vampire. Besides the fact that all the episodes like brought in so many fucking cryptids, so many
Yeah.
freaking like everything, like the banshee. A banshee was in the episode, in one of the episodes there. A living doll, zombies, you name them, and obviously the vampires, right?
Yeah.
But but that show is great.
Yeah. To me, I didn't really need my fix from. Although I love the show, it and again I hate when shows end like that. I didn't really look back because I was still getting my fix with like Teen Wolf.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which looking back at it now, I would have preferred Teen Wolf just stop at a certain point, but they just kept going, which is fine. But that was like a thing, like you said, they just kept bringing in like more creatures and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and very low budget show. It was just like, oh, he's a hellhound and he's just like covered in fire, and I was like, okay, like, that's not that cool. Like the idea is cool, but like the visuals just weren't there.
Well, I mean, basically, you were watching My Babysitter's a Vampire, but just more adult.
Yeah, yeah.
Teen Wolf.
Hmm.
Yeah, actually, Hellhounds. You brought up such a good topic there. Have you guys like? Do you guys know the whole thing about like Hellhounds and stuff? Like what they signify or like how they're supposed to look like?
Kinda, but if you don't mind, recap, a little summary on what they are.
Yeah, of course. So I don't have like the full context detail of all of the what a hellhound is, right? Continuously, but I can tell you like everything that I know so far about what a hellhound is. And obviously, the listeners can tell me more if I'm wrong or if I can go into more detail about it. But basically, there are two types of hellhounds. Um, there are the ones that are depicted as on fire, black dogs, like Dobermans on fire,
Right, right.
and then there are the black Dobermans with red eyes. But
Yeah.
the essential backstory to them are the same, where you basically experience hellhounds 3 times, right? 3 times in your lifetime. If you see them for the third time, then that is it for you.
That's game.
So like
Quits.
that's quits
You're
because
done.
yeah. So hellhounds are basically warnings. So the first time that you ever see a hellhound, some freak accident is gonna happen, and it doesn't necessarily. It's not gonna kill you, but it's definitely gonna hurt you really bad. Like it was supposed to be a moment of like your death. Basically, it's a signal of your death.
Like Mothman.
Yeah. Kind of like Mothman. Yeah, for sure. Except uh, it, most people only would see Mothman like once, while um, for the Hellhounds, it is always depicted as 3 times.
3 times. No, yeah. I just meant like Mothman in the way where people would say that seeing Mothman most likely meant that something tragic was about to occur.
Yes.
Well, that was the theory because all like because Mothman was or the majority of the Mothman lore is just like in that little bubble of that town, and the sightings supposedly stopped after the bridge
The bridge
collapse that he
collapse,
was
yeah.
sighted on. So that is the one of the main theories of what Mothman was, that he was this kind of like precursor to this tragedy, which, if that's what you want to believe, that's fine. I believe personally that
Uh
Mothman is still out there. Like, he's not really a precursor. He just happened to be sighted on that bridge and then it collapsed. My boy had nothing to do with it. Free my boy.
If anything, he was checking code and he was warning. He was actually up there warning. Hey,
Hey,
guys,
guys, this is not
this
up
bridge
to
ain't
code.
structural, guys.
Yeah. This bridge can collapse at any moment.
Y'all gotta shut
boom.
this
Y'all gotta
down.
get out of
Y'all gotta shut this down, bro. It's wrap it up. Let me put the yellow tape. This bridge ain't up to code. I tell you.
Okay, so let me get into this story about hellhounds right now. So, my family, they described that, or they told me that they ended up seeing a hellhound, and this story is insane because it happened on one of our annual trips to Las Vegas, um, during the summer. So, like, that is not even like a remotely like time for whenever you're gonna see one of those like hellhounds at all. And so essentially, the ride to Vegas is 4 hours. But at the time, I think it would have been six. I think we did take like a longer route because if you go nowadays to Vegas, it is essentially four hours. But back in the day, there was probably two routes because they always told me that it took about 6 hours. I don't know if it was because they made so many stops or regardless of the fact. But on this day, we decided to leave earlier. We decided to leave around like 3 p.m., 4 p.m., and we were bound to get traffic somewhere around 5, 6, around there, 5, 6 p.m. And so this was right before sunset happens. We go over the hill on the second route to get to Vegas, and all of a sudden, all of a sudden, our like their GPS, and this is like old car GPS, right? Their GPS doesn't work. Like the electronics starts like to malfunction. And this is around the time where like barely like the iPhone 5 was released. So not everybody had a smartphone like that, but we had smartphones, right? So all of that technology started to malfunction, and the times calls, all of it, there was no signal for anybody. I'm in the back seat of this like 8-seater car and I'm just knocked out completely, and almost everybody in the car is knocked out completely until uh the, we pass the hill, down, going down, and my Theo at the time, well, I mean, he is my Theo, but like, I mean, my Theo at the time was driving. He he gets closer and he swears on his life, right? He swears. He gets closer down to the hill, almost like nearing this like semi truck, and he thought that the semi truck like completely broke, so he like hit the brakes, waking up uh my mother, my dad, and my aunt, my tia. They all like woke up, and it's weird that the adults were the ones that woke up when that happened, but that's just what happened, right? And as they like stopped and freaked out and went to the right, they realized that the semi truck was just stopped on the very corner, and my deal was like nearing the edge of the road at that point. Because you know how there's like on the freeway, there's also like ramps on the outside for like cars in case they have like a flat or something. That's where the semi was, and he was like, so for some reason, dozing off on that side. And now we're going down the road continuously still, and the four adults are awake. We pass the semi truck, and there's no cars on the road. They specifically say there are no cars on the road until they start hearing like this screeching sound from the radio, like if the radio was looking for a new station. And the next thing they saw was like dogs in the distance, two dogs, two black dogs in the distance, basically barking at the road, and they all got this like weird cold chill from that, and I and it, they all started screaming, they started screaming in the car. And none of us woke up. None of the kids. They tried to wake us up. And once they finished passing the dogs and everything, maybe like a minute later, all of the kids woke up and they swore. And there was a bunch of cars later after there. There was a bunch of cars near them, and they swore to us that they saw two black dogs barking at them. And so at this time, right, the only notion of what I have, uh, or any idea of what these are the hellhounds, because I used to love to watch Lost Tapes, and they had an episode where they mentioned a hellhound, and the only thing I can come up with was like, yeah, the same description: black dog, red eyes. They saw it for the first time, but my Dio and my Tia had seen it for 2 times. That was the second time they ever witnessed a black dog with red eyes like that, like a hellish red eyes.
So is it safe to assume you no longer hang out with that tío and that tía in hopes
Um,
that you're not there for when the third time comes around?
well, the third time would not be the third time for me. It'd be the third time for them, and
Valid,
that would be
valid.
my first time, right? Um, when it comes down to it, my Dio,
So let me just get this straight. So the dogs were like in the middle of the freeway, like
on the on
or on
like
the
the
side,
on the side, on
on
the
like the little
dirt
side,
side.
on the
Yeah,
dirt side,
yeah,
and then there was no traffic, and then as soon as they pass them, traffic.
yeah.
So
Cars
like as
started to
if
show up, like it's as if like they
they
left
just
Silent Hill.
reappeared.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's
yeah.
kind of crazy. I mean I've like you hear stories about stuff like that all the time where like somebody walks in like that famous story of that musician in Mexico who like he takes the shortcut through the woods, right? And then he runs into like these duendes, elves,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Hey, like play us a song, play us a song, play us a song. We'll give you this bag of gold." And he's like, "All right, like just one song." So he plays him like a song, give him the bag, and then he like he gets home, and then his family's like, "Oh my god, where have you been? Like where have you been?" He's like, "What do you mean? Like I just got through the woods real quick, like on my way home." They're like, "Been gone a while."
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's just, he's like, what do you mean? Like, like it's normal. He's like, I just cut through the woods real quick. Like, no, like you've been gone a long time. You know, like we were worried. He's like, and then he like tells him the story, and then he pulls out the bag of money that the duendes gave him, and then it turns out like it's
Yeah,
it's 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 nothing.
it's fool's gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's full of nothing.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy though. It's crazy.
It's almost like in from what I got from that story, it's almost like your family kind of just seemingly got caught in the crossfire. It feels more like maybe they were there for, like you said, the truck that was like on the side of the road.
Hmm.
Um, and your family was just like wrong place, wrong time. Because aside from the screaming and any psychological damage that they got,
Yeah.
it seems like everybody was pretty much unscathed, you know?
Well, I was actually gonna bring that up, but they ended up like my Theo and my aunt, right? They ended up not working out afterwards, like a couple of years later. Um, and then the same thing for my parents. Like that ended up happening to them.
Mm.
Like obviously you can say that it was everything else
I was gonna say
but the
I don't know.
dogs.
I don't know if it was a few years later. I don't know if I'd put that on the dogs.
But like I said, the dogs necessarily like if something happens every time you see them. Now you can correlate to whatever bad luck you want to with those dogs, but on the third occasion that you would see one of those hellhounds, that is when you know that is your time. Your time is up, and I mean that was their second time seeing it. I would be like, oh yeah, 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 they got caught in the crossfire, and they probably did. They probably did
They
that.
went bust at the
The
casino.
but they did that was their second time.
Mm.
So I
Mm.
just says just so like maybe it could have also been meant for them. But don't you think that is so weird that they swear on their lives they were screaming at us trying to wake us up, and we for the life of us we were like completely knocked out, and then we just woke up
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah, that's definitely scary. I mean, I don't know.
That, if I may,
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
that is also a reason I say maybe it was just the crossfire was because you had someone in the car already predisposed to seeing them,
Mhm.
And then on top of that, like you said, two of the couples didn't work out. There was probably already some, and again, I'm talking out of my ass. This is whatever you want to believe in. I'm a big believer in karma and energy. There's probably already bad energy in the car, and if you're driving through something that's like gonna signal a calamity, it probably latched onto some of that negative energy. IMO again, whatever you want to believe in.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. But like, hellhounds are definitely one of those things that I'm just like, "Y- they could exist. They could exist, and I don't know why they wouldn't. You know?
Oh, I'm a big believer in just about anything. I think there's very few things where I'm like, yeah, that's a load of,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, there was there was a time where my family got a little religious because of an event that happened. So this happened a long time ago. I was a kid. Uh, I was living in. I was spending weekends with my dad, weekdays with my mom, and my dad lived in Riverside with his cousin and his family and his kids. And I remember one time I wasn't there for it because it happened during the week. My two cousins uh, swore they were just playing around, right? So low context, their mom was pregnant and they were just playing around. They go to their parents' room, right? And they swore they saw a black figure like trap them in the room and tell them like I'm going to take your little brother away, right?
That's insane. Go on. Go on.
And the kicker is that they didn't know what she was having yet.
Wait. Hold on. I think I missed that. You said little brother, and
That's what the figure said
oh
to them.
my god.
And then
Go on. Go on.
she has a boy.
No.
So
Go on.
for I guess what I was told is they had like a priest come out do something, and for like a good few months, I don't know if it was a year or whatever, we would just like we would always pray in the house. Like at night we would pray. We would all get gather in the room. We would just pray because they were afraid whatever it was gonna come back or and like keep its promise of I'm gonna take away your little brother.
Did that boy end up living a long and healthy life?
Yeah, that boy's still kicking. He just turned 18 not too long ago, I believe. I don't keep up with them anymore too much, but yeah, he's still kicking.
Damn, only 18. That's a lot younger than I was thinking. That's crazy though. That boy's cursed.
Yeah. Oh my god. A black figure coming into. Wait. So it ended up being a boy, obviously, right?
Obviously,
Yeah.
yes.
Um.
Yes. It was this they said it was this like tall, shadowy figure. This is tall, shadowy figure, and yeah, like it just kinda like came out of nowhere and it like told them like I'm gonna take away your little brother.
Oh wait. Are those two were siblings?
Yes, they are siblings. They're like a year apart. They're
Well,
actually
I
they're my
mean,
age. They're
okay.
no,
Okay.
they're not my age. They're a little bit older. They're like a year or two older than me.
And this is me trying
Spooky
to
scary.
like this is me trying to justify it, right? Like this is I'm gonna be like devil's advocate here, right? They're brothers, they're siblings. One of them obviously has to be older. So you don't think they meant like what happened to them? What if he met that little brother
That's
and
also
Well, they're
not
true.
the
both
you
well,
know?
they're both girls.
That's
So
not
Oh.
okay. That's not what you said.
sorry. So yeah, they're these two. They're both sisters. They're both girls.
Never mind then.
And
Never mind.
so that yeah, so that yeah, I probably should have said that. That's what made it freaky was that this
Freakier,
black
yeah.
figure was like, I'm gonna take away your little
That's
brother, and
that's
they didn't even know what she was having yet.
that's spooky.
That's fun.
That's spooky as hell. Like, what do you do in that situation? Like,
I know I didn't want to be there. For after I found out, I went.
did they tell you
What you were
like
praying for, or
yeah
they're just like sit down and do these Hail Marys with
yeah
Not at first. I don't remember how I found out, but I ended up finding out like that's why we were doing it. And then
oh so yeah
and we would like for a good while like lights stayed on in the house.
Did did you get freaked out when you found out?
Yeah, of course. I was a kid. Like how do you hear something like that and not be like freaked out? You know?
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
cool.
that is.
I love that.
Honestly, that is. But I feel like you're the one in this room that has experienced like the most, and yet it's not your
I
experiences
have yeah.
truly. Like,
I've heard so many stories of things happening to people, and but I think it's because I get curious and I ask like, hey, you believe in this kind of stuff? Like, you ever seen anything? And then sometimes I'll be like, yeah. So let me tell you this. You know, like,
mhm.
but I don't have any personal experiences, sadly.
Yeah. And I mean, well, I mean, technically, you do have one personal experience. Um, and I would say I have two, but I always justify like I tend to like have a justification towards it. But I don't know, like this is why I love the spookiness of everything. It's just the curiosity of it all. Like I want to find out. I want to know if it's real. I want to go investigate. But I wouldn't do it like how Fuzzy does it. You know?
Oh, where I'm just constantly inviting anything and everything to like come meet me. I'm a big advocate for Ouija boards. When me and Alan were in Japan, I was like just speaking out into the woods, like straight up inviting any entity that wanted to come join us. Alan
Yeah.
wasn't as into it, but
Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm like, oh, haunted house, haunted asylum, haunted or okay, not asylum, haunted like hospital. Maybe I'll go like abandoned, right? And I'll go look for it. I'll be like, ghost, where are you? Show yourself, you know. But he was invoking spirits from the woods in Japan. Do
He
you
was
know
like
what that
he
means?
was like almighty demon, come latch to me. I will be your vessel. And you're
The
like, no, we're not doing that. No, that's not what I said. No, no,
well,
we're just saying if anything creepy's out there, maybe rustle some branches or something.
yeah.
You know,
No,
I'm not trying to see what your manifestation looks like.
I'm not trying to wake up and see my boy Fuzzy looking at me and staring at me talking about I'm gonna take your soul. Like, are you serious?
he like woke up in the hotel room the next morning, and I'm like hanging by the ceiling with my head like a full 180 degrees on my body. And Alan's just like, yeah, that's pretty par for course on how I thought this was gonna go.
And I told you not to invoke the spirits, but there you go. That's what he was doing. No, I mean, I would love to explore them like that. Like, I would love to go and the curiosity of it all gets to me. But that way of curiosity where you try to invoke everything, maybe not. Maybe just pull it back a little bit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
No.
I
I
don't.
mean, I'm all for seeing whatever decides to pop out. I am also not inviting anything to take me over to haunt me or to latch on. Definitely not.
Oh, I love the spookiness when we scared each other when we were in San Francisco.
Oh yeah. But I was gonna say, yeah, I'm the exact opposite. Like again, welcome to the first episode of Los Spookies. This is who we are. I'm definitely the guy trying to get all the smoke from all these demons.
Get the smoke, get the demonacy, anything,
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 anything.
anything. Just give
I
it.
don't judge.
Yeah, yeah. Now, obviously, you got El Oso over there who's curious, but he's not trying to impose on any. He's kind of trying to coexist on with them.
Yeah. As long as like we can run into Casper the Friendly Ghost, great. And I just ask him some questions, like, what's life like, But don't latch on to me. Don't follow me around for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and then obviously there's me, Alan, who is curious about it, and I am willing to invoke but at the same time I'm willing to coexist. I just don't want to be possessed, taken over. I still want to be me. I still want to live by me and be me, not 180'd and floating in the sky.
Cut to me on my haunted tour of the Queen Mary, and they're like, "Yeah, don't touch the Ouija board. We've had experiences." And as soon as everybody else is out of the room, I'm like, "Uh huh, uh-huh." I'm like asking questions.
Yeah, go on,
Do
go on.
it jiggle?
Hey, ghost, are you dead or alive?
Yeah, that's basically.
No, I mean that's definitely us. That's definitely our parameters on the spookiness of it all. It's definitely why we love all of this spooky topics anyways. Why we love to discuss all the media in it, movies, songs, books, TV shows, you name it. Everything that comes around when it's spooky. And even if it isn't spooky, I definitely enjoy talking about all of these topics with my two pals right here, with my two hosts right here. I know I also wanted to like do more things that weren't necessarily all too spooky, but still gave you that vibe of spookiness. Ain't that right?
Yeah, anything that runs a little chill down your spine, anything that gives you little goosebumps, just anything that makes you go, that was a little freaky, that was a little spooky. Like just doesn't have to be straight up like gut wrenching, like oh my god, like that's so scary. It could just be a slight breeze that hits you the wrong way.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are into that, if you guys are into a little bit of spookiness into your life, I don't think it's a bad idea to come hang out with us. Maybe we'll talk about something that you love. Maybe we'll talk about the cryptids that you like. Maybe we'll talk about some of the creepy pastas that you forgot about. Or maybe we'll talk about the ghost behind your wall. I don't know, just come join us on the next episode, definitely.
Next episode of what?
Next episode of
Los Spookies.